Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal astrology forecast for the week of May 2nd through the 8th of 2022. Alright, so this week we have essentially a lot of sextiles, which are a lot of openings, and they're not things that we're really forced into, but energies that are available, certainly. And so it can be a very constructive week to utilize these. Also, we are in the very early phase still of the lunar cycle, but starting to build some momentum. So it really is a great week for getting things started, especially if there were any new insights or new things you've started since last Saturday. Last Saturday we had the new moon in Aries, so there definitely is a more active energy with now this part of the year with the Sun in Aries. Great for taking initiative, moving things forward, anything that is that more active, fiery side of things. Now, along with this, around Thursday, perhaps the most important aspect we have is that the Sun is going to be conjuncting that Uranus in Aries. So Uranus is all about freedom and change and individuality, and the past few years this has been activated with Aries, with independence and assertiveness. So now this gets activated with the Sun in the yearly sense. So great for a little bit of that individual self-expression, a little bit of change, some freedom, again, in that fire sign of Aries is fantastic. All right, so we have this as well as some of those sextiles. So let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, May 2nd. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology, which unfortunately does not use the actual size of the constellations. And so the signs do change. A great example is that right now, if you're used to mainstream astrology, you might be thinking that the sun's in Taurus, right? But if you do look up at the visible sky, you know, literally tonight you go up, you look, you will see these planets in the different constellations. And in this case, the sun is right in the middle of Aries, if you were to go look at this using a planetarium software. So if you are new to this channel, definitely check out that link down below for more information on true sidereal astrology. All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick recap where all the planets are coming into this week so we can get some context. Again, the most important thing is that we are still in the very early phase of the cycle coming into this week. We just had that new moon last Saturday. And so we're just slowly building some momentum here. But the main context is in Aries, and so great to be focused on life in the through the lens of how we can take initiative with things, right? Aries is all about thrusting forward. It is the ram, and so it is about that more active, assertive, perhaps goal-driven, desire-driven, assertive energy, which is great to be collectively developing at this time of the year. Now, along with this, we do have a lot of the other planets kind of staggered in different constellations. We have Mercury in Taurus, the bull. So our minds and our day-to-day thoughts and sort of routines are a bit more stable. It's good to be taking things a bit slowly at the moment, mentally and also on that day-to-day level. So Taurus, the bull, is all about taking things one step at a time and also stopping to smell the roses and take that more steady approach to things. So we have that going on as well. Venus is in Pisces, and so we're valuing the more receptive and going with the flow energies, both in terms of what we're enjoying and also in those relationships as well. And Mars in Aquarius, that Uranus energy. And so when we are taking action, again, this will be a major theme of the week, is it's great to do so in a way that is challenging the status quo. Both our own status quo, which is again good for change and healthfully disrupting things, that is more about doing things for our excitement or for our true self or for freedom of individual self-expression, right? These kinds of things are great to be taking action towards, and in that way, in that very visionary, progressive, and innovative way that certainly is activated with Mars here, and of course that's Sun over Uranus. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down for each day of the week here. As you can see, a lot of blue, and these blue aspects that you're seeing here are sextiles. And so sextiles are these doors opening And they're doors we can choose or choose not to walk through, is how I like to think about them. But they are certainly open. And so sextiles can be very supportive, very opportunistic energies to work with, but we really do have to incorporate that free will and choose to work with it or choose to walk through those doors. And so that certainly is the main energy of the week. As you can see, the week is certainly dominated with those sextiles. But coming into the week here on Monday, we do have the moon in Taurus, where the moon will be the first 3 days of the week through Wednesday. And so these first few days, very good for, again, that steady side of things with that Mercury energy we're talking about. So first few days of the week, great for taking things slowly, steadily, stopping to smell the roses, very grounded, very resourceful. The moon does like to be here, so it is generally a little bit more of an easier, more supportive energy to work with. But again, it's just a great time to be taking it slow, connecting to our inner resources, our self-worth, our self-value, inner strength. Also the external resources, nature, or perhaps a good meal, or some natural, aesthetic, sensual things. Taurus the bull, the nature, the resourceful, the grounded energies, certainly great to develop these first few days of the week. Now, along with this, we do have a very important yearly energy. I mean, it's still a sextile, so again, it's not a major aspect, but involving two outer planets. And this is Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in that sextile up to deep Pluto, the ruler of the underworld. And so this is a yearly energy, and so it is activated this week. I would say it's great all week, but concentrated around the Tuesday time, where there is an opening to perhaps do some of that deeper stuff. Pluto is retrograde at the moment, so perhaps some of these things are a little bit now on the back burner. We're starting to look at them in different ways. This could be things that involve maybe healing in your life, or things involving life and death, or the occult or esoteric, hidden things, secret things, all that underworld energy is good to be rethinking, reapproaching in a different way now with Pluto retrograde. But nonetheless, there could be an opening to cultivate it, right? To expand it with Jupiter, to learn more about it perhaps. So this kind of aspect is great for using that wisdom and adventurousness of Jupiter to excavate the deeper world. This could, of course, again, be for ourselves, within ourselves. It could be about life, of course, other relationships, whatever it is that we want to excavate. Great week to do that. Certainly an opportunity to do that. And there could even be some opportunities, again, arising out of this door opening with this particular configuration. So great to be open-minded, a bit of a free spirit, a bit adventurous about these deeper aspects of life. And in this way, we are utilizing the benefit or the opportunity here with this sextile. Now, as we continue going into Wednesday here, the moon again still in grounded Taurus, Mars will then be sextiling that Uranus energy. And so from Mars in Aquarius is again already adding to that, but there's an opening here to maybe shift some things towards some of that visionary progressive energy. So again, a door opening, perhaps to take some action, to assert ourselves, to pursue something that is towards that excitement, towards that vision, or towards any of that wanting some freedom and change in that individual self-expression. So again, that really is the hallmark of the week there with that Uranus energy, especially as we start to get into Thursday. The sun then will pass over that Uranus. And so in this context, a new beginning. In this case, a conjunction is very much like a new moon. In fact, the last new moon was conjunct Uranus here. And so it is certainly a nice step in the right direction with a yearly new beginning, even larger because this is Uranus, so we're talking multi-years or decades even, right, of getting into that fiery individual self-expression, right? So anything that is about, again, outside the comfort zone perhaps, maybe challenges our own status quo, but is exciting, is different, is healthfully disruptive, right? Anything on that level, we could certainly be noticing a new beginning with. So all in all, great to incorporate this energy, set some new intentions with this energy around fire of Aries, of initiative, towards individual self-expression or our excitement or what's going to be more in alignment with our true self, right? This kind of thing, certainly taking a step in the right direction. Certainly very good to set new intentions with this new beginning conjunction here. All right, and and then as we start to get into that Thursday time period, the moon will be shifting into Gemini both Thursday and Friday. So nothing major, but a theme around learning, perhaps, or communication. So synthesizing information, synthesizing words and language and concepts is what Gemini is all about. So great for these kinds of things here this middle part of the week. And along with that sort of Gemini energy, Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, will be sextiling Venus here around Thursday. And so there could be an opening for some flow with that mental communicative stuff with relationships, usually with a sextile to Venus like this. So an opening, maybe we're just feeling a bit tactful, willing to share an exchange, willing to see both sides of a situation involving a partnership or an agreement or just conversing in our everyday social life. So an opening and an easier energy to share and exchange and do some of that communication and synthesizing in the context of enjoyment and in the context of relationships with that sextile to Venus. All right, and then as we do get into this what will be Saturday time period, the moon will be shifting into protective Cancer. So both Saturday and Sunday could be very good for a bit of that protective energy to create a protective environment for ourselves and also others. Cancer is great for incorporating that caring side, caring for ourselves and others, that nurturing side, nurturing for ourselves and others. And so anything on that theme over the weekend, I think, is great. This will be the first quarter moon of the lunar cycle, which is typically where we do come to our first challenges of the lunar cycle, meaning that anything from last Thursday, a week before this week's weekend here, that we do want to challenge ourselves with, that maybe might be a bit uncomfortable, or again, just we need to will ourselves to do it, or it's a challenge, could be very good. It's very good to use those first quarters. They become very constructive. It's where things really get built in the lunar cycle. Yes, there might be a bit of restriction. It's a little bit like that Saturn kind of energy, but it can be very constructive, right? To work on things, build things, whatever it is we want to further develop, or whatever it is life is challenging us to develop this phase of the lunar month. And along with this, the Sun and Mars will be in good harmony. So again, just supporting a bit of that fire energy. We could be feeling a bit assertive, maybe a bit independent, maybe a bit self-expressive here around the weekend as well, with that opening with the Sun and Mars also. All right. And then I just want to mention that very late Sunday, the moon will be shifting into Leo, setting a theme for next week around self-expression specifically. And Mercury is going to be going retrograde early next week as well. So things might start to slow down a little bit regarding wherever we've been putting our energy in the day-to-day. Whatever we rely on a day-to-day level, our routines, things like this, are going to start to go through a bit of a reworking there for 3 weeks once Mercury does go retrograde, but we could notice slowing down a little bit this weekend. All right, but of course I'll cover that in next week's weekly. All right, so that is the week in a nutshell. Most important thing is that we are just building this new lunar cycle. It really is a week of opportunities that we can choose or choose not to work with the energies. We do of course have this conjunction though, which is certainly activating from that last new moon last Saturday, which is shifting things in the right direction regarding that fiery self-expression or that fiery individuality or freedom and change, excitement, different things, right, with that Uranus in Aries. So that's the conjunction there. A lot of the sextiles are activating from that place, and that Mars, which deals very much with those same similar kinds of energies. All right, and then towards the later part of the week, the weekend, challenging ourselves to implement all of this. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not yet signed up for MTZ Insiders, it is a newsletter where you do get these videos released first and extra content not normally released on YouTube as well. So if you're not yet signed up, definitely check out the link down below for that. It's absolutely free. But have a great week, everyone. Thank you again for all of your support, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.